All right, changes to our understanding of the Constitution. Okay, and the Constitution was very broadly written. It was not very specific. And over the years, we have changed our interpretation of it. People have started to see certain parts of the Constitution and say, oh, well, that actually means blank, okay, um, or something different. Impeachment is one of the things that is brought up. Um, Impeachment is a right given to the House. We know that President Trump was impeached a year and a half ago, or whatever, by the Democratic House over some kind of Ukrainian election interference issues. President Clinton was impeached because he um, lied about having an affair, an affair, with a 23-year-old intern at the White House. Andrew Jackson was impeached because he was being really soft on the slave states, and in the northern states didn't like that after the Civil War. Why does this have to do with changes to our understanding of the Constitution? Well, here's why. Because the Constitution says treason, which is working against your country; bribery, which is taking money or offering money to another person to do something involved in our government, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, when it comes to Trump's, people argue that this was bribery. That Trump was saying, and he never actually said it, but he implied, or some people say he implied, that the only way we're going to give you weapons to fight your war with Russia, who's invading you, is if you do some research against Biden, because he thought Biden maybe was going to win at that point. Or not beat him, but he'll be the Democratic nominee. He would win the Democratic nomination. He never actually implicitly offered a quid pro quo, but he said, yeah, sure, I'll get you these weapons. Oh, by the way, can you also do an investigation against Biden's son? These things are coming out right now. This is the October surprise, right? Because Biden's son's emails were hacked, and here's what he was saying, kind of thing. I'm not sure if you're paying attention to it. But so that one probably falls under the basic categories of bribery, one of the treason, bribery, but then other high crimes and misdemeanors. Is what Clinton did treason? No. Is it bribery? No. But he lied about his affair. High crimes and misdemeanors? That's where we get into the tricky part. Look, Nixon was impeached. No, he did resign, but he was impeached for lying about Watergate. Look, he didn't pay those people, but his people paid the Cubans to break into the Watergate Hotel and plant listening devices in the Democratic office. So he didn't do it, but he lied about it. And then he was impeached, and he actually was going to be kicked out until he decided to quit. High crimes and misdemeanors? What about Jackson? All Jackson did was try and show leniency to the southern states because he was a southerner after the Civil War, and not have them have to follow as many strict rules. Why was he impeached? So these questions about impeachment arguably fall under high crimes and misdemeanors, and then that's where the blur is, right? I mean, we've talked about this with the Second Amendment. Right to bear arms and have a regulated militia. What does that mean? What does bear arms mean? What is a regulated militia? Does that mean that it has to be regulated by the state, or just run by a group? People don't know. The Constitution is vague on a lot of issues, right? This one has to do with Andrew Jackson, right? His impeachment. What did he really do, though, right? They found a reason to impeach him that wasn't really what they were angry about. They were really angry about the way he was treating the southern states after the Civil War, but they just found reasons to impeach him because they were mad at him. Nixon was impeached because of lying, that when he found out that his people had paid those Cubans, he lied about it. Clinton was impeached just because he lied about an affair. And then Trump, right, we said, okay, well, maybe this one is bribery. Maybe it's not. I mean, maybe you say that's not bribery because he never actually said it. The Constitution is very broad, and it allows for interpretation. There's an example here about how, what was it? said Amish families don't have to send their kids to school because of the First Amendment's free speech. What? How's that free speech, right? We talked about Roe v. Wade using the 14th Amendment's right to privacy as to why they allowed women the right to have an abortion in this country. But it's not in the Constitution, it's interpreted. People interpret the Constitution in different ways. And this is kind of, I think, what this section is all about. That because it was so vague, the Constitution, some people can interpret it to mean what they want it to mean. You hear what you want to hear, right?